Okay, this is Module 4, Introduction to Algebra and the Real Number System. I'm David Dipple from the Art Institute in Houston. It's a quick review of the material that's covered in the Intro to Algebra module. I encourage you to work through the examples, and then after you complete that, work on the skills check. Hopefully, if you have difficulty with one or more problems, you'll just go ahead and skip those right now, and then go back after you've gone through the skills check and work on the few modules that hopefully are left. Okay, convert to an expression, a number multiplied by negative 3. That's going to be negative 3x added to, so we plus, sum, so we put parentheses and put a plus in the middle. If it said difference, you'd put a minus, but it says sum, so I put a plus. And then 2 and, so it's 2 plus 3 times the number, that's 3x. Okay, we have a fraction. 3 and 5/9. You take the front number, 3, times the bottom, 9, that's 27, plus 5 is 32. Take the front, 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 is 22. Now, in order to work these, the denominators, the bottoms have to be the same, so this one gets multiplied by 3 to make 9 on the bottom. So I have 32 over 9. 22 times 3 is 66 over 9. I subtract those. 32 minus 66 is negative 34. Okay, to simplify this back into a mixed number, if it requires it on the lab, just go ahead and take your 34 divided by 9 on a calculator. It'll say 3. And then take the decimal times the 9, and that makes 7. So it's 3 and 7/9, and it's negative. Okay, I want you to write with inequalities. 4x is between, so I put negative 5, then my 4x, and then my 3. Include negative 5, so I put an equal sign. Include is when you put an equal. Exclude, I do not put an equal. Is 6 a solution? So take the number 6, put it where you see the w's. 3 times 6, 2 times 6 minus 4. So my w's turn into 6's. Okay, 3 times 6 is 18. And 6 minus 4 is 2 times 2 is 4. So it's 18 plus 4. That is 22. So yes, it is. Less or greater. Negative 4 is smaller because it's on the left side if you look at a number line. So it's negative 4 is less than 5. Okay, rewrite with the associative property. That means I'm going to break apart this pair. I'm going to reassociate them. It's like you're talking to friends here, and you want to talk to this other friend. So you want to break apart this discussion and put one in between the 7 and the 6. So you have 7 plus, and then you can use parentheses or a bracket. Make the 7 and the negative 6 together. That's reassociating them. Take your calculator. 7 plus a negative 6 should be 1. So you have y plus 1. Simplify. Absolute value of negative 14 is positive 14. You just throw away the negative. Minus, because it's in the middle of the absolute values, and then minus 6 turns into positive 6. Type in your calculator. 14 minus 6 is 8. Okay, rational numbers. Rational numbers can be made into fractions. 5 is 5 over 1. 0 is 0 over 1. 14 is 14 over 1. 20.3, since it's 0.3, it's tenths, and if you make it into a fraction, it's going to be 203 because you've taken care of the decimal, the tenth, on the bottom of the fraction. Square root of 15. There is no square root of 15, so you can't turn it into a fraction. Square root of 9 is 3. You can make that 3 over 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11 thirds. That's a fraction. 11 fourteenths is a fraction. This is a decimal. You cannot turn into a fraction because you don't know what to put on the bottom. It never stops, so it's not. So I'm going to take the ones that were, which are the negative 5, the 0, 14, the 20.3, the square root of 9. Those are rational. 3 and 2/3 and the 11 fourteenths. Simplify. 2 negatives make a positive, so this is 5 plus 4. Minus 9 plus 4. Just type that straight in your calculator. 5 plus 4 minus 9 plus 4 should give you 4. Now, Tom's playing cards on Tuesday after class. We could scratch that part out. We don't need that. He has 5 turns, and these are his scores. It wants to know his final score. Well, just take your calculator. -2 plus 4 minus 3 plus 6 plus 5. Now, if your calculator doesn't like to start with negative numbers, that's fine. Just start and work backwards. 5 plus 6 minus 3 minus 4, or plus 4 minus 2. Any way you go, it should be 10. Okay, simplifying. I'm going to take my squares, the 3 and the minus 5, put them together. Take what's left, the 2x cubed and the 3x cubed, put them together. Then I combine the fronts. 3 minus 5 is -2. -2 plus 3, or 3 minus 2, makes 1. So it's 2x squared plus x cubed, and the 2x squared is negative. Okay, simplify. -4 times 3 is -12. -4 times -2 is +8. And -4 times positive 4 is -16. And just put the letters in. Okay, graphing on a number line, that just means these are going to have dots over them. So I make a number line, and I put dots over the numbers -5. So I have my 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 gets a dot. -1, 2, 3, -4, -5, -6. -5 gets a dot, and the -2 gets a dot. Those all get dots. Okay, now I want to write an equation. 7 plus 3/5 the number is 9. And I think I made it minus. Let's see. So it should be 7 plus 3/5 of a number is 9. So it's just 7 plus 3/5 is 9. Okay, number 15, write with a less than. Well, to get a, or greater than, to get a less than to turn around, you just turn all the numbers around. 3 moves over, 2 moves over, so it becomes 3 is greater than -2. Since -2 is smaller, 3 is greater than. If it looks like the letter L, it's a less than, so that's a greater than. Okay, simplify. 2 squared means you write it twice. So you have -4 with 2 2's, and then -2, -5. This turns out to be -8 minus, and a -2 times a -5. These cancel, make a plus, so it's 10. So it's -16. 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is -16. 2 times 5 is 10. And -16 minus 10 is -26. 3 times 4 makes -12. 3 times 9 is 27. And they're both negative because there's a negative when you distribute. Positive 3 times positive 5 is 15. Positive 3 times -7 is -21. And I'll write these vertically because the first pair I write down, the second pair I write down, and it's easier when you're adding. 15 minus 12, it's easier to combine, is 3. 27 and 21 makes -48. A little trick, if you'll go vertical, it just makes it a little easier. Evaluate. Take -2/3, put it in for A. 4/3, put it in for B. And -2/3, put it in for A. A means squared, or means write it twice. So I put in my -2/3 by 4/3. Then I wrote my -2/3 twice. Okay, when you're multiplying, you multiply the tops. 4 times 2 is -8/9. 2 times 2 is +4/9. So 4/9 minus 8/9. To subtract those, and it's -4/9. And then 19, we have -3. This negative times 4 is +4. Sorry. That's going to be -4. And negative times 7 makes +7. So 3, and then minus times 4 is -4. Minus times 7 is +7. And then you can combine these two, so it's a -7 minus 7a. Okay, so that is a lot of the material that's in the section on Introduction to Algebra. I suggest you go through the skills review now and take care of that, work through that, and do as much as you can. Good luck.